The world after the rain was strangely quiet.
The stillness that comes
After everything has been washed away, felt less like peace and more like a breath, being carefully held. The ground was wet, the air was heavy, and in the human heart remained an uneasiness that could not yet find words. Noah and his family opened the door of the ark and stepped outside, but their steps were not light. The relief of survival was overshadowed by a deeper question. How were they to live again? On this earth, the world had begun anew, but the human heart was still afraid. Would God once again judge the earth with water? Would human weakness grieve the heart of God? All over again? In the silence, humanity questioned, and God did not ignore that silence. Then God spoke, "I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it shall be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth." These words were not merely a declaration of blessing. They sounded more like a heartfelt confession from God himself. The rainbow was a promise made to humanity, but at the same time, it was a vow God made to himself. God knew how easily human beings forget, and perhaps even before humanity needed reminding, God placed that sign so that he himself would remember. A rainbow does not appear in a perfectly clear sky. There must be clouds. The rain must have passed, and light and water must meet together for it to appear. That truth speaks quietly to us. God's promises are not given in places without pain, but after wounds have passed through. How did Noah look upon that rainbow? Standing on ground, not yet fully dry, remembering a world that had been lost, he must have lifted his eyes toward the sky. That rainbow could not have been pure joy alone. Within it were memories of judgment, traces of tears, and layered upon them all, the heart of God reaching beyond them. When God gave the covenant, he did not begin with conditions. Not, "If you live righteously, if you change, if you never sin again." Instead of such words, God first made a promise. Never again would he destroy the earth with water. This covenant was not built upon human faithfulness, but upon God's patience. Human beings would remain weak, would fail again, and at times would grieve God's heart. God already knew this, and yet he still chose to promise. That is why the rainbow is not merely a beautiful symbol. It holds God's patience, God's willingness to wait, and his decision to give humanity another chance. The phrase, "I have set my rainbow in the clouds," carries deep meaning. God did not remove the clouds. He did not erase the rain, nor did he instantly remove the suffering of this world. Instead, he placed his promise in the very midst of the clouds. Clouds do not disappear from our lives either. There are days of tears, seasons we cannot understand, moments when we ask why such things happen to us again and again. Yet God does not simply lead us around the clouds. He places the rainbow within them. There are many times when we cannot see it. Unless we look up, we may miss it entirely. Sometimes it appears only briefly, then fades away. Still, it is truly there, because God has said so. "I have set my rainbow in the clouds." This promise was made with the earth itself, not for one specific person, but for every living creature. That is how wide, how deep, and how unbreakable this covenant is. God said that whenever he sees the rainbow, he will remember. Those words were spoken by God to himself, so that he would never forget. Human beings forget promises. We change with our emotions. We waver with circumstances. But whenever God sees the rainbow, he declares, "I remember." That remembrance does not stay in the past. It protects today and upholds tomorrow. In part 2, this covenant of the rainbow will be connected more deeply to our lives today, to the God who remembers, and to the people invited to remember as well.